iPhone 16. Everyone's buzzing about it, right?
Yeah.
But let's go deeper than just the headlines. We're diving into the iPhone 16, the Plus, the Pro, even the Pro Max. We want to see what actually matters for, you and me when we're using these things.
Yeah, there's always hype when a new iPhone drops, right? But I think there are some really interesting trends this time around, some stuff that goes beyond just, oh, it's a faster phone.
Exactly. And just looking at the lineup, one thing that really jumps out to me is the camera placement.
Oh, interesting. You're noticing that even on the regular 16 and 16 Plus, it's like they've optimized that camera setup for spatial audio and video.
Right. It's almost as if they're getting ready for, something bigger down the road.
Yeah, it's almost like they're future-proofing it.
Okay.
Like, even if you don't have something like, say, Apple Vision Pro right now.
Like the headset, yeah.
Exactly. They're kind of laying the groundwork. Imagine, 5 years from now, you're looking back at a video from a family gathering, and you can actually, walk around in that memory. That's the kind of future they're kind of hinting at.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's the cool stuff. But okay, let's bring it back down to earth for a sec. For those of us who just want to take amazing photos today, what's the big deal with this camera?
Well, 48 megapixels is nothing to sneeze at. Our source said the photos were vibrant and detailed, and it sounds like they weren't kidding around.
I gotta admit, 48 megapixels. That sounds impressive on paper, but honestly, sometimes I feel like those big numbers are just marketing hype. What's the real difference you're gonna see day to day?
It's a fair point. Megapixels aren't the whole story. But it's how Apple's using them. This new Fusion camera thing. It takes multiple shots at once at different exposures, and then it uses computational photography to merge them all together. Basically, it's using AI to do stuff that would have been impossible before.
Hold on, computational photography. I feel like we gotta break that down a little bit. What exactly does that even mean?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So think of it this way. Your phone's camera isn't just a lens and a sensor anymore. It's also a tiny little computer that's constantly analyzing and processing everything in real time. And with this Fusion camera, it can pull off some crazy stuff like enhancing details, making low-light photos look way better, all thanks to that A18 chip.
Oh, yeah, the A18. That's the other thing. It's in all the iPhone 16 models now, not just the Pro versions. What's up with that?
I think that's huge EE. It tells us where Apple's going with this. By putting the A18 in everything, it's like they're saying computational photography and AI. That's not just a premium feature anymore. That's the baseline. Which means even if you're not dropping top dollar on a Pro model, you're still going to see the benefits. Sharper photos, better video calls, maybe even longer battery life because everything's running more efficiently.
Smart. So it's about brains, not just, raw power. But while we're on the subject of the Pro models, what about this new camera control button they've got? Our source seemed kind of on the fence about it, said it felt finicky. You think Apple's overthinking things?
I can see why they'd say that. At first glance, it does feel like a small detail. I think it points to a bigger strategy. Think about a professional-grade camera, all those buttons and dials. By adding this dedicated button, it's almost like Apple is saying, hey, serious photographers, we see you, and we want you to have that same level of control and customization.
So blurring the lines between a smartphone camera and something you'd use professionally? Interesting. But the big question is, are people going to use it? Is it going to be one of those things that sounds cool but ends up being more trouble than it's worth? Only time will tell, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. You hit the nail on the head. The iPhone 16 isn't some radical reinvention. It's about Apple taking what they've already built and making it better, more refined, more powerful hardware, smarter software. And there's little hints about where they see the whole Apple ecosystem going. The big question is, are people ready for that vision? And are they willing to pay for it?